If you do this for the next 90 days, your life will never be the same. I'm telling you right now, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever's been holding you back, it's time to shake it off. Because for the next 90 days, you're going to commit like your life depends on it, because in a very real way, it does. This isn't about trying, it's about deciding that every single day you're going to show up with hunger in your heart and fire in your soul. You're going to speak to yourself with power. No more, I can't. No more, maybe later. You'll say, I will. I must. I am. For 90 days, you're going to protect your energy, guard your mind, feed it only with what builds you, inspires you, and stretches you. No more gossip, no more doubt, no more sitting in rooms that shrink your dreams. For 90 days, you're going to write down your goals every morning like they're already done. You're going to visualize them, feel them, live them not someday, but now. For 90 days, you're going to act on your ideas, take risks, speak up, stand tall. You'll stop waiting for the right moment and realize the right moment is the one you create. You're going to wake up early, stay up late if you have to, not because it's easy, but because your future is worth it. Discipline will be your best friend, and excuses they'll be dead to you. You'll study success, model greatness, and surround yourself with people who make you level up just by being in their presence. And when those 90 days are over, something will shift not just in your world, but in who you are. You'll walk differently, speak differently, think differently. You'll realize the only thing that was ever missing was commitment, full, no turning back, no matter what commitment. So do this for the next 90 days. Lock in, don't look back. Don't slow down, and when the doubt creeps in, when the old habits whisper your name, you remind yourself you made a promise. You're not just dreaming anymore. You're doing, and you're not doing it someday. You're doing it now. Here are 5 key points for do this for the next 90 days. 1. Decide with full commitment and eliminate all excuses. 2. Speak powerful affirmations daily and guard your mindset. 3. Visualize your goals as already achieved every morning. 4. Take daily action without waiting for the perfect moment. 5. Surround yourself with people who challenge and elevate you. 1. When a person makes a decision, a real one, the kind that shakes the soul and rewires the mind, life begins to move in an entirely different direction. Because you can't halfway change your life and expect a complete transformation, you either burn the bridge behind you or you stand on the shore. Wondering why nothing's changing, and that's why I'm telling you today, if you're going to do this for the next 90 days, you must decide with full commitment and eliminate every excuse you've ever leaned on like a crutch, because excuses may comfort you for a moment, but they'll destroy your potential forever. And the truth is, most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity or luck. They fail because they never really decided. Not all the way, not deep in their bones. They said they wanted change, but they left the back door open just in case. They said they were in, but they kept one foot in the past, and that's not commitment. That's hesitation dressed up in fake promises. So the first step is this: you must decide, right here, right now, that you're not going to keep living at half power, that you're not going to keep dragging your feet through another day, wishing, hoping, waiting for something to push you, because the only push that's ever going to matter is the one you give yourself. The moment you say, enough, I'm done with this version of me, I'm ready to step into the one I was born to be. And that decision, when it's made with everything inside you, will move mountains, because the universe responds to boldness. Life rewards the ones who dare to go all in, and when you go all in, when there's no plan B, no escape route, no cushion to fall back on, you show up different, you think sharper, you grind harder, you endure longer, because your mind knows there's no other option. And that's when magic begins, when you've got your back against the wall and you make up your mind that you will not back down, you will not give up, you will not go quietly, and you will not be denied. But here's the truth: commitment isn't just about making a loud declaration one time. It's what you do when no one's watching, when it's boring, when it's painful, when it's raining, when it's quiet, when your legs are heavy and your spirit is tired. It's in those moments that your decision is tested, and every test is a chance to prove that you meant what you said, that you weren't just hyped up. You were locked in, you were serious, and if you're serious, if you've made the real decision, then the first thing you have to do is eliminate every excuse, every story you've ever told yourself about why you can't, every lie you've repeated so many times you started to believe it, every limitation that someone else placed on you that you accepted as truth. Those have to go, and they have to go now, not later, not when it's more convenient, but right now, because excuses are like termites. They eat away at your dreams quietly until one day everything collapses, and you stand there wondering what happened, wondering why things never worked out, and it all goes back to the excuses you let stay in the house. So today, you evict them one by one. You throw out, "I don't have time, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm not smart enough, I've failed before, people like me don't succeed, what if it doesn't work?" And you replace all of that noise with one clear truth: if I decide and commit fully, I can create any result I want. And that's not motivational fluff. That's the law of life. That's what every great man and woman who's ever made history knew in their bones. That once they committed, truly committed, everything began to align. But that alignment only comes after the decision, not before. So don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for signs. Don't wait for someone to believe in you. Believe in yourself enough to begin, and let your actions make the noise. Let your results speak for you, because talk is cheap and excuses are cheaper. And if you want to win in the next 90 days, if you want to look in mirror and see someone you admire, someone you respect, someone who finally rose to their own greatness, then you've got to cut the rope that's been tying you to your past, cut the rope that's been anchoring you to old habits, cut the rope that's kept you stuck in cycles of starting and stopping. And decide that this time it's different, not because the world is going to suddenly get easier, but because you're going to get stronger, more focused, more relentless, and that all begins with the moment you stop flirting with success and start marrying it. Stop hoping and start expecting. Stop dabbling and start dominating, because let me tell you something: the clock is ticking, and the next 90 days are going to pass whether you change or not, whether you commit or not, whether you rise or stay stuck. And the only thing that determines where you'll be at the end of those 90 days is what you decide to do now, not tomorrow. Now, because every dream dies in the waiting room, every excuse kills momentum, and every half decision weakens your confidence, but a full decision, a note, turning back, burn the boats. This is my time kind of decision that builds a fire inside you that can't be put out by setbacks, delays, or disappointments. So say it with your chest: I'm done making excuses. I'm done holding back. I'm done playing small. And don't just say it, live it. Let your habits reflect it. Let your schedule reflect it. Let your energy reflect it. Let the people around you feel it. Because when you decide with full commitment, you begin to move with authority, with clarity, with purpose, and that kind of movement creates momentum, and momentum makes you unstoppable. But only if you stay the course, only if you keep showing up, only if you remember that this is not a game, this is your life, and you don't get another one. So you either spend it building the life you want, or you spend it explaining why you didn't. There is no in-between, and when you understand that, truly understand it, your excuses begin to sound like what they really are: distractions, illusions, chains disguised as comfort, and you break those chains by committing, not just with your mouth, but with your actions, your thoughts, your discipline, your consistency. And once you do, everything starts to change, not all at once, not overnight, but bit by bit, layer by layer, because commitment isn't sexy. It's not always exciting, but it's powerful. It's the secret ingredient that separates those who succeed from those who almost did. And I don't know about you, but I'm not interested in almost. I'm not here to almost make it, almost change, almost live my purpose. I'm here to go all the way, to tap into the greatness that's already inside me. And if you're hearing this, then maybe, just maybe, you're ready to, maybe you've had enough of the false starts and the broken promises you've made to yourself. Maybe you're ready to look yourself in the mirror and say, this time, I'm serious. And mean it and live it and prove it every single day, because when you do, when you finally draw that line in the sand and say, from this day forward, I'm all in, then watch how the world begins to respond, not immediately, not magically, but consistently, because life always makes room for the person who knows where they're going and refuses to be denied. And that can be you, starting now, for the next 90 days and beyond. 2. Every morning you open your eyes, you're stepping into a battlefield not out there in the world, but right between your ears, and if you don't take control of that space, if you don't seize the opportunity to program your mind before the world does, then you'll end up living someone else's script, chasing someone else's definition of success, reacting instead of creating, doubting instead of believing. And the truth is, your mind is the most powerful weapon you've got, but it can also be your worst enemy if you don't train it like a warrior trains for war. And that's why I'm telling you, if you want to change your life in the next 90 days, you've got to speak powerful affirmations daily and guard your mindset like it's the most valuable treasure on earth, because it is. And I know some people might roll their eyes when they hear affirmations, thinking it's soft or cheesy or something you do when you're bored. But I'm here to tell you, words shape reality. Beliefs build your future, and whatever you repeat to yourself consistently becomes the identity you live out every single day. So if you keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm too far behind, I never finish what I start, then don't be surprised when your life reflects that story, because your brain is listening, your subconscious is recording, and your actions are following orders from the beliefs you feed it. And if you want to break the cycle, if you want to step into the life you were meant for, then it starts by changing what you speak and guarding what you allow to enter your mental space. Because the mind, once it accepts a belief, begins to seek out proof of that belief. It looks for it, filters for it, creates it, and this is both a blessing and a curse depending on what you're feeding it. So feed it power, feed it life, feed it vision, and do it every single day like it's your oxygen. Because it is when you wake up, before the phone, before the emails, before the noise of the world starts creeping in. Take a moment to speak yourself out loud with energy, like your future depends on it, because it does say things like, I am powerful, I am focused, I am consistent, I attract opportunities, I am worthy of success, I overcome every obstacle, I create value everywhere I go, I do not quit. And say it like you mean it. Not like you're reciting a grocery list, but like a warrior stepping into battle, because you're not just saying words, you're reprogramming decades of fear, doubt, conditioning, and failure. You're rewriting the story that's been playing in your mind on repeat, and that's not easy, but it's possible, and the more you do it, the stronger the new narrative becomes, and soon you'll start to notice your behavior shift, your posture change, your thoughts align with your vision, and when negativity tries to sneak in, because it will, you'll be ready, because you've trained your mind to respond with strength instead of surrender, and that's what guarding your mindset is all about. It's not pretending life is perfect. It's not ignoring pain or struggle. It's about choosing what to focus on, what to allow in, what to believe, because there's a war going on, and the enemy is doubt, fear, comparison, distraction, procrastination, and they're all trying to get in through the gates of your mind. And if you don't stand guard at that gate, they will enter, set up camp, and convince you that you're stuck, that you're not good enough, that you should just settle. But if you've been doing your work, speaking your affirmations, sharpening your beliefs. Then when that negativity knocks, you answer with truth. You say, "Not today, not ever. I know who I am, I know where I'm going, and I will not be moved." And that kind of mental fortitude doesn't just show up on its own. It's built brick by brick through repetition, through discipline, through intention. And you've got to understand, you can't leave this to chance, because the world is not neutral. It's constantly trying to tell you who you are, what you can do, what's realistic, what's impossible, and most of that noise is rooted in fear, limitation, and mediocrity. And if you let that in, it becomes your ceiling. But if you build a fortress around your mind, if you fill your thoughts with possibility, abundance, resilience, then nothing can break you, nothing can derail you, because you're grounded in truth. And your truth is this: you were born to rise, to lead, to build, to create, to overcome, and your mind is the key to unlocking all of that. So treat it like a sacred space. Feed it the words that align with your destiny, not your history, because you're not your past. You're not your mistakes. You're not your environment. You are what you choose to believe. And belief is built one affirmation at a time, one thought at a time, one moment at a time. And when you do this for 90 days straight, you'll start to feel it in your bones. You'll walk with confidence. You'll speak with clarity. You'll move with purpose, and people will notice. They'll say something's different about you, and it won't just be your habits. It'll be your energy, your vibration, your mindset, because you've stopped letting the world program you, and you've taken the pen back into your own hands. You've become the author, the editor, the narrator of your story, and that's power, not because everything's perfect, but because you've learned to stand tall in the storm, to keep your thoughts rooted in truth, to trust your vision even when the results haven't caught up yet. And that kind of faith, that kind of daily programming, that's what separates the average from the extraordinary. And you have that power, not someday, not if things work out, but now. And every day you show up and speak life into your mind, you're chiseling away the doubt and revealing the masterpiece underneath. So, don't take this lightly. Don't skip it. Don't let your feelings decide. If you do it because your future deserves it, because your purpose depends on it, and because if you don't do it, the default programming of the world will take over, and you already know where that leads: fear, stagnation, limitation, regret. But not you, not anymore. You're done letting old thoughts define new outcomes. You're done letting the noise drown out your inner voice. You're done living by the past. You're speaking your future into existence with every word, every affirmation, every truth. And it's not just hype, it's alignment, and alignment creates momentum, and momentum creates breakthrough, and breakthrough becomes lifestyle when you're consistent. So do it daily. Do it even when it feels silly. Do it even when nothing's changing yet, especially then, because that's when it's working. Behind the scenes, shaping your focus, building your inner strength, making you unshakable, and when the pressure comes, and it will, you'll respond from your programming, not your panic, because you've trained yourself to think strong, to believe big, to stand tall, and that mindset will carry you through storms that would have broken the old you, because now you've got mental armor, and that armor was built one affirmation at a time, one guarded thought at a time, one conscious decision at a time. So for the next 90 days, don't just change your routine, change your identity. Rewire your beliefs, take full control of the voice in your head, and remember, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you rise to the level of your belief. And belief is built by what you speak, what you hear, and what you focus on. So focus on power, speak life, and guard your mind like everything depends on it, because it does. 3. Every day, from the moment you wake up to the second your head hits the pillow, you're being bombarded with information, ideas, messages, opinions, and noise. And let me tell you something, not all of it is meant for your growth. Not all of it deserves a place in your mind, and if you're serious about changing your life over the next 90 days, if you're truly ready to see transformation not just in your results, but in the way you think, the way you move, the way you see yourself and the world around you, then you've got to become fiercely intentional about what you allow into your mental space, because the mind is like fertile soil. It doesn't discriminate between seeds. It will grow whatever you plant in it, whether it's weeds of fear and doubt or seeds of possibility and power. And if you're not deliberately feeding it with ideas that stretch you, strengthen you, and support your growth, then you're leaving the door wide open for mediocrity to creep in and make itself comfortable. And let's not get it twisted. Mediocrity doesn't show up looking like failure. It shows up disguised as comfort, as safety, as just enough. And before you know it, you're shrinking to fit someone else's expectations. You're playing small because you're surrounded by small-minded thinking. You're staying quiet when your soul is screaming for more. And I know you've felt that tug, that fire inside that says you were made for more. You were made to rise, create, to impact. And if that's going to happen, if you're going to live up to that calling, then you've got to start feeding your mind with high-octane fuel, with truth, with strategy, with vision, with voices that remind you of your power, not your problems. And I'm talking about turning off noise that keeps you stuck, the gossip, the comparison, the complaining, the distractions that entertain but don't educate, the scrolling that numbs but doesn't nourish, the opinions of people who aren't even living the life you want, and replacing all that with books that challenge your thinking, with audio that speaks life into you, with content that sharpens your perspective, with people who force you to grow just by being in the room with them. Because you become what you consume, you begin to mirror the energy of what you surround yourself with. And if you want to rise, if you want to elevate, if you want to evolve, then your mind must be filled with material that stretches you beyond what you think is possible, that shows you what's on the other side of your limitations, that wakes up the sleeping giant within you. And it's not about being positive all the time. It's about being purposeful, deliberate about what gets your attention, because your attention is your power, your focus is your fuel, and where your focus goes, your energy flows, and where your energy flows, your results grow. And you've got to guard that focus like your future depends on it, because it does. And listen, there are voices out there that will speak to the best in you, that will remind you that you are not your past, that you are not your mistakes, that you are not broken, you are not too late, you are not too far gone, you are a masterpiece under construction. And what you feed your mind during construction will determine the kind of foundation you build on. And I want you to think of your mind as a garden, and every idea you plant is a seed, and every piece of information you water it with either builds it up or breaks it down. And you can't expect to grow an orchard of abundance if you're planting seeds of scarcity, if you're constantly listening to voices that say you can't, you shouldn't, you're not enough. If you're watching content that's rooted in fear, if you're surrounding yourself with people who see problems in every opportunity instead of opportunities in every problem, because those things take root in your subconscious, they shape the way you speak, the way you decide, the way you show up, and you may not even notice it at first, but slowly you'll start second guessing yourself, you'll hesitate instead of acting, you'll settle instead of reaching, and you'll call it realistic. But the truth is, it's programming. It's the result of what you've been feeding your mind, and you can change it, you can shift it, but only if you make a radical decision to feed your mind with ideas that stretch you, not keep you small, that strengthen your inner world so the outer world doesn't shake you, that support your growth even when it's uncomfortable, because real growth is uncomfortable, it's messy, it's unfamiliar, and that's why most people run from it. They want the results without the resistance, they want the breakthrough without the breaking, but you're different, you're choosing the path of greatness, and that means embracing the discomfort that comes with stretching, the pressure that comes with strengthening, and the discipline that comes with guarding your growth. And yes, it's going to take effort. It's going to mean waking up early to read when you'd rather sleep, listening to truth instead of toxic entertainment, choosing mentors over mindless scrolling, leaning into learning instead of staying stuck in what you already know. And for 90 days, I'm challenging you to go all in on this, to become a student of your own greatness, to flood your mind with ideas that inspire bold action, that ignite belief, that dismantle the lies you've carried for years, to surround yourself with voices that hold you to a higher standard, and yes, sometimes that means letting go of things that no longer serve you. Letting go of comfort zones that became cages, letting go of relationships that keep pulling you backwards, because not everyone will understand your growth, not everyone will support your elevation, and that's okay, because this is your journey, this is your transformation, and the people meant to grow with you will catch up or cheer from a distance, but you can't slow down your evolution just to make others comfortable. You've got a purpose to fulfill, a calling to answer, and a life to build, and it starts with what you feed your mind, because your mind is the command center of your destiny, and if you flood it with light, with strength, with truth, with vision, then nothing can dim your shine, and when challenges come, and they will, you'll face them with clarity, with resilience, with power, because your inner world has been fortified, and that kind of strength doesn't come from hoping, it comes from habits, from what you consistently put into your mental diet, from what you listen to when no one's watching, from the way you talk to yourself when no one's cheering. And when you do this for 90 days, when you immerse yourself in greatness, when you consume content that uplifts, expands, and refines you, you'll start to think differently, speak differently, walk differently. You'll attract new opportunities, new relationships, new breakthroughs, not because the world changed, but because you did, and it all began with what you fed your mind. So don't underestimate it. Don't dismiss it. Don't delay it. Start now, today, and every day after that. Treat your mind like the sacred ground it is. Plant only what you want to harvest, nurture only what you want to grow, and protect it with everything you've got, because your future is growing there. For there's something powerful, something life-altering about the decision to show up early, stay late, and give your absolute best, especially when no one's watching, because that's where champions are made, not under the spotlight, not on the stage, not in front of a cheering crowd, but in the quiet, in shadows, in the places where no one claps, where no one notices, where no one seems to care, because that's the realm of character, and character is the foundation of all greatness. And if you want the next 90 days of your life to transform you, to elevate you, to push you into a league most people never enter, then you've got to commit to excellence as your standard, not just when it's convenient, not just when it's visible, but especially when it's hard, when you're tired, when no one else is doing it, when the bed is calling, when the world says relax. Take it easy, slow down, because that's when you build the muscle, that's when you rise above average, that's when you break away from the pack, because average shows up on time, excellence shows up early, average does just enough, excellence goes the extra mile, average quits when it gets uncomfortable, but excellence leans into the pain, the stretch, the pressure, and says, bring it on, because I'm not doing this for applause, I'm not doing this for recognition, I'm doing this because it's who I am, because I respect myself too much to deliver anything less than my best, and let me tell you, there's something magnetic about a person who operates like that. There's something about someone who doesn't need an audience to give their all, who doesn't wait for motivation to act, who doesn't slow down just because no one's looking, because what you do in the dark always comes to light. And if you plant seeds of discipline, if you water them with consistency, if you protect them with integrity, one day the fruit will show up and people will call it luck. They'll call it talent. They'll say you got a break, but you'll know the truth. You built it. You earned it. You stayed when others left. You endured when others quit. You stayed hungry when others got comfortable. And that kind of power, that kind of excellence, it's rare and it's respected. And it will take you places talent alone can't, because talent is common, but commitment, consistency, integrity, those are the currencies of champions. And you've got to be willing to do the things most people aren't willing to do. You've got to be willing to be early when everyone else is sleeping, to stay late when others are clocking out, to grind when there's no applause, no recognition, no instant reward, because this is the season of planting, this is the season of sowing, and the harvest will come. But only if you've been faithful in the process, and I know it's hard. I know there are days when you'll want to quit, when it feels like no one cares, when it seems like you're being overlooked, like your effort doesn't matter. But I'm here to tell you every drop of sweat, every late night, every early morning, every act of excellence, it's adding up, it's building something in you, and not just skills, but strength, not just discipline, but destiny, because what you're really doing in those unseen moments is telling the universe, telling yourself that you're ready, that you're serious, that you're willing to pay the price for your dreams, and that's what separates dreamers from doers. That's what turns wishes into reality, and I promise you, if you stay committed for the next 90 days, if you pour your heart into your work, if you push beyond comfort and act like every task matters, because it does, you'll start to feel a shift, not just in your results, but in your identity, in your self-respect, in your momentum, because the universe responds to effort, to energy, to excellence, and once you start moving like that, thinking like that, living like that, doors will open, people will notice, and even if they don't, it won't matter, because you'll have built something more powerful than praise. You'll have built belief, and that belief will carry you through every challenge, every valley, every doubt. Because you'll know what you're made of, and you'll be dangerous in the best way, dangerous to fear, dangerous to mediocrity, dangerous to every excuse that once held you back, because now you know the truth, that greatness is not some magical moment. It's 1,000 small decisions to show up fully, to stay when it's hard, to act like everything matters, because it does, and if you commit to this, if you show up early, stay late, and do it with excellence, you won't just change your habits, you'll change your future, and not just for you, but for every life connected to yours, because someone is watching, someone is learning from you, someone is waiting for you to rise, so they can believe it's possible for them too, and the legacy you leave will be written not in the big moments, but in the quiet ones, the private ones, the invisible ones, where you chose to act like a champion. Even when no one clapped, and that choice, repeated over and over, becomes your superpower, so decide today, right now, that for the next 90 days you will give your best when no one's looking, that you will grind in silence, that you will show up like the doors you want are already open, like the stage is already set, like the opportunity is already yours, because in your mind it is, and if you hold that belief and back it up with action, with excellence, with intensity, then there's no limit to where you can go, no limit to what you can do, because now you've become someone who can be trusted with greatness, and that is a rare and unstoppable force. 5. There's a fire inside you, a spark that was lit the moment you dreamed of a better life, the second you felt something stir inside you whispering there's more to you than what the world sees, more than the routine, more than labels, more than the limits that others tried to place on your name, and that fire is sacred. It's your drive, your hunger, your soul's reminder that you were born with purpose, built with power, destined for greatness. But here's the truth that most never say out loud. That fire, no matter how strong it burns today, can be fed or it can be smothered. It can be turned into a roaring inferno that lights up the world, or reduced to a fading ember if you're not careful. And the people you surround yourself with, they are either adding to your flame or draining it dry. And if you're going to do anything truly transformative over the next 90 days, if you're going to break cycles, crush fear, build something legendary, then you've got to be ruthless about your environment, because energy is contagious, beliefs are contagious, and mindsets spread faster than fire in a dry forest. And if You're walking through life with people who constantly doubt, constantly settle, constantly criticize, constantly play small. Then don't be surprised when you start shrinking too, when you start hesitating on your dreams, questioning your worth, downplaying your ambition just to fit in, because that's what we do to keep the peace, to feel accepted, to avoid the discomfort of outgrowing people we care about. But hear me when I say this. Loyalty to your potential must come before loyalty to your past, and not everyone who started with you is meant to grow with you, and that's not betrayal. That's evolution, and part of stepping into your purpose is learning how to bless people from a distance if necessary, to love them without letting them pull you back into old patterns because you've got places to go, a mission to fulfill, and you can't keep apologizing for wanting more, for thinking bigger, for refusing to settle. So look around your life right now, take inventory of your circle and ask yourself, who fans your flame, who speaks life into you, who reminds you of your power, who challenges you to rise higher, who believes in you even when you forget to believe in yourself, and who makes you feel like you're too much, like your dreams are crazy, like your effort is wasted, like your vision is unreachable. And be honest, because your future depends on it. And sometimes it's not the enemies that destroy our fire, it's the familiar faces, the friendly voices. The people who mean well but don't see what you see, who can't understand your hunger because they've already made peace with comfort. And listen, just because they don't see the vision doesn't mean the vision isn't real. It just means they're not assigned to it, and that's okay. Your destiny isn't a group project, but it is heavily influenced by the energy around you. So if you're serious about the next 90 days, you've got to start surrounding yourself with people who stretch you, who inspire you, who have conversations that elevate, not gossip that drains, who talk about goals, not just grievances, who are building, not just complaining, who make you feel like you can run through walls, not like you're walking on eggshells. And yes, it's going to feel lonely sometimes. Yes, you might outgrow people. Yes, you might have to walk alone for a season, but you'll never regret choosing peace over pressure, progress over popularity, fire over familiarity, because this is your life, your legacy, and if you let the wrong voices take root in your mind, they will sabotage your greatness before it even fully blooms. So start seeking out people who live what they talk, who do the work, who walk with purpose, who aren't afraid of the hard path, who don't need to tear others down to feel tall, who challenge your excuses, who remind you of your why, and don't wait for them to find you. Go looking. Show up in rooms where you feel small, where you're not the smartest, not the strongest, not the most successful, because that's how you grow, that's how you rise, that's how you unlock parts of yourself you didn't know existed. And let me tell you, when you surround yourself with fire, starters, with believers, with visionaries, with warriors, everything shifts. Your confidence expands, your focus sharpens, your habits level up, and suddenly what used to feel impossible starts to feel inevitable, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger, because you stopped letting dead energy drain your drive, because you started choosing fuel over friction. And over the next 90 days, this needs to become your new normal, to protect your space like your future depends on it, because it does, to say no to invitations that pull you backwards, to say yes to environments that stretch your identity, to speak life into your circle and demand the same in return, because iron sharpens iron and steel cannot be forged without fire. So stop trying to burn brightly while sitting in shadows. Stop trying to fly while tying yourself to anchors. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable, because the people meant to be in your life will never ask you to shrink. They'll push you to shine, and it's time to raise the standard. It's time to call in higher level conversations, higher level connections, higher level commitments. And when you do, when you surround yourself with people who won't let you quit, who see you not as you are, but as you can be, who hold you accountable to your greatness even when you'd rather hide, you will grow faster, Think bigger, act bolder, and show up stronger, not just because of what you're doing, but because of who you're becoming in the process. And that transformation, that evolution, it's sacred, and it starts with a choice. The choice to prioritize your peace, your power, your purpose, and to say to yourself, I am no longer available for environments that make me doubt my fire. I will no longer entertain voices that make me question my worth. I will walk boldly, speak loudly, and stand fully in my light, and I will do it surrounded by those who fan my flame, who believe in my brilliance, who remind me daily that I was born for more, and for the next 90 days and beyond, I will guard my energy like the treasure it is, because I finally understand my fire is not just mine to keep, it's mine to spread, to build, to lead with, and only those who honor it are welcome in my circle.